This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com and GatheringMagic.com, your place to explore the game.
Hi, my name is Rob. This is my Mayael the Anima deck. Alright, start with the general, Mayael. Deck is trying to be foreigned out. It's about 50% there right now. Hopefully I'll get it all. These are just the basic lands, running about 15. Mostly forests, only about 2 mountains. Most of the spells are green, especially the ramp spells, just so I can power stuff out earlier. Got a few dual colored lands, shock lands. Some of the newer ones. All the Ravnica Bounce lands. Old school Onslaught fetch. Stirring Wildwood. I don't know why that's in there. I'll probably add Raging Ravine as well. Comes into play taps. Even one turn slow could hurt the deck. Jungle Shrine, Temple of False God. It's just extra mana. My pretty sweet pimped out Commander Tower. Opal Palace. Reflecting Pool, of course. Nykthos, this was really going to be cut, but I decided to keep it just because it proves itself to be very valuable game after game after game. Plus I can power out large creatures without Mayael if I just happen to draw them in hand. Yavimaya Hollow, this taps for colorless or for a green can regenerate any target creature. It's pretty good. Strip Mine. High Market. Having a sack outlet's pretty useful. Some of the ramp spells in the deck. Evolution Charm. I use this one over other ones because it's also utility. I can return a creature card from my graveyard to my hand. My metagame has a lot of control, wrath effects, long games, so it's valuable early game and late game. Also gives flying if that's ever necessary. I don't think I've ever used that ability. Cultivate, one of the most common ramp spells. Recross the Paths, this is my favorite ramp spell. The deck has a lot of high casting cost creatures, so you win the clash more often than not. You can cast it multiple times in a turn, and ramp out lands a lot faster. It's pretty good. Soul Ring, Altered Look Like Kenny, one of my favorite cards in the deck. Ingot. On to the removal. Staples, Path to Exile, Swords of Plowshares. Valorous Stance, again it's removal plus utility. Make your creature indestructible. Selesnya Charm, more removal plus utility. More often I use the remove exile target creature, power 5 or greater. Crib Swap's really good. Beast Within gets rid of pesky enchantments, Mari Wake, stuff like that. As well as Return to Dust. Exiling is pretty important in my meta as well. Wrath effects, Wrath of God, Austere Command, and Planar Cleansing. One of the only, well, this is the only equipment in my deck. Lightning Greaves. I had Swiftfoot Boots and cut it, but I'm probably going to add it back in. I'm not sure what I'm going to cut for it yet. Top, it's just top. Sylvan Library, and Greater Goods, one of the late game, probably a win more card, but sometimes it can bail you out when you're behind. Most of the smaller creatures in the deck, ramp type stuff. Tribe Elder and Pridemage removal. Grandpoffer, more ramp, Witness of course, Simulacrum. Drum Hunter, I like this card a lot. This cards are offered green and it ramps mana. Usually no one kills it, it just sits there. Gamekeeper I'm testing. It's 50-50 on this card. I'll probably end up cutting it, but never know. Academy Rectors, one of the staples. It gets Greater Good and or Looking Predators usually. Zoologists, another way to cheat creatures in from your hand. This will probably be replaced by Quicksilver Amulet. I think this is just too vulnerable to stuff. Although I can get it back with some of the other recursion in the deck. Acidic Slime, getting more removal for non-creatures. Revelwork goes with all the other creatures that you just saw. It's just a really good card. I end up wanting to cut the smaller creatures, put more larger creatures, but you need some early game too. Duplicate, excellent removal, Karma Guide. Karma Guide plus Revel Arc. It's pretty good stuff. Resurrection, and like Miraculous Recovery, instant speed, resurrection basically, with a +1/+1 counter. It's good for combat tricks. Plus you don't have to tap out on your own turn to do it. Hymn to Rebirth, an Ice Age Resurrection. It's got green in it, but it's also from any graveyard, not your own. That makes it a little bit better. Call the Wild. This is usually last-ditch effort in the game. End steps, you're just trying to get something in play if you have nothing in hand. Lurking Predators is just broken, especially with larger creatures. Summoning Trap helps you cheat guys a little quicker in play, especially when Mayael gets killed right away and starts costing 7 to 9 mana to get it back in play. See the Unwritten, same thing, cheat guys into play. These are the larger creatures that you try to get in play with Mayael and or other tricks. Pelucranos, he's alright. He's a little cheaper. You can play him pretty early if you actually draw him and not sit on him for half a game. Paleoloth, he's being testing right now. I'm not sure yet. It might be too much of a win more card. Probably should be replaced by something better, stronger. Sun Titan, again, utility, just ridiculously good. Inferno Titan, he's not overpowered. I just like him a lot. Dragonlord Ramoka, one of the better creatures in the deck, especially for the cost. The ability to have your opponents not cast spells on your turn is just, they forget about it a lot and they don't realize it and they'll mistake and do it usually. Yosei the Morning Star, Krosan Tusker, usually just cycles for an extra card and land. I've hard casted before, I usually lose that game. Call of the Pack, testing it, it's okay. Nothing great, just a big fat beater. Same with Penumbra Worm. Gisela usually puts a target on your face, or just wins the game. Go for broke. Angelic Arbiter, again, another card that gives your opponents fits. They either cast spells or attack, one or the other. Angel Serenity, big creature removal. Also gets cards back. A lot of times I'll get cards out of my yard, put it on there, then when they kill her, I get creatures back in my hand. So removal / recursion, it fits both. Gruul Rage Beast, one of the better creatures in the deck. It's removal, makes all your other creatures removal. Generally your creatures are bigger than theirs. Spiritbreaker Behemoth, Indestructibles, just very valuable in a game full of wraths. Hellkite has Flash, plus removal, tons of utility creatures. Razia, really good, haste, vigilance, redirects damage. Primus, big beater, has trample and removal. Everything here has dual purpose usually. Same as Terastodon. Acroma, one of the best creatures in Magic, I think. Really hard to kill, lots of damage. Avacyn, if she gets in play, it's hard to get around her. It's usually a win. Not always. This is one of the more underrated creatures in the deck. I think just having hexproof, it just wrecks our opponent's game plans a lot. They usually need a Wrath at this point. Or clone it. Blazing Archon, keeps heat off you. Iona, I play her a lot more than I think. She usually names white or blue. Mostly white, just to stay out of Path and Swords. That's most of the removal in EDH these days. And last is just a big fat beater, Worldspine Worm. I want to probably bump the creature count up. 5 or 6 more creatures. Just gotta figure out which cuts I want first. Thanks for watching CMDR decks. Please subscribe and favorite.